And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And of course, it's the two of us, which means it's time for more Steel Division Normandy 44.
Yep.
Now, today on this map, this is the alternate Odon with a river map. Who do we have
Mm-hmm.
facing off against each other here, Rang?
Well, on the left-hand side, we have Hoorah! Comrades as the 3rd Canadian Division. And on the right-hand side, we got From Rasta of Love, playing as the 3rd FSJ Division. So, Battle of the Threes today.
I was just going to make that same comment. Now, of course, we do know there's a new patch
Mm-hmm.
out. How does it affect these two divisions here?
Well, for the Canadians, they get some cheaper flamethrower units. Cheaper 17-pounders. This isn't really going to make that big of a difference compared to a bloody Feldschäger deck. And I believe Vickers machine gun and a few other bits and bobs are slightly nerfed, or buffed for the allies, I should actually say. For Rasta of Lovio, really not much has changed. A sniper unit has a G43 with scope, which hardly plays a difference. And I think a little bit HS129B1s or the Mighty Ducks that they get a bit less of. But apart from that, not too much for both of these divisions.
That's always kind of good. So if we don't know what's going to happen between these two divisions, what is the kind of standard? How do they stack up? How about that?
Oh, that is a good question, because the 3rd Canadians, they definitely have the tank advantage. At Ram 2, if they do decide to bring it up in A phase, it will be a pain in the butt to deal with from those Feldschägers. And also they have those Stormtrooper units and flamethrowers, which will prove deadly in its rather forestry map, as it got quite a lot of like heavy cover for them to take advantage of. For the 3rd Feldschägers, it's going to come down to getting their Feldschägers in good open ground positions, because we all know they are insanely bloody good once you get them into that longer range firefight. And just using fire support effectively to try and keep the Canadians at bay, because they're definitely going to bring up more heavy ground units, especially during the early part of the game.
Now, we were both taking a look at the decks that these players are fielding here. Did you
Mm-hmm.
notice anything interesting about either one of them, or no?
No, it's pretty standard for both, to be entirely honest. I mean, the Feldschäger die doesn't have crazy amount of off-map. It only has A phase off-map, no railway arty. Later on, the Canadian dude, a lot of Spitfires, quite a lot of Spitfires, but it's probably a pretty good idea considering he's fighting against the Feldschägers. Want to get air superiority, but no, pretty standard stuff from both sides.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, I will tell you there, folks, I admit I did a little bit of snooping in this game beforehand. Rang, this is the first time through for him, but I'll try to
Yep.
keep you guys posted as impartially as possible. And actually, if I can throw a nice little spot in, Rang, you've been kind of going through some new stuff over on your channel, haven't you? At least it kind of feels like that to me as we kind of get started here.
Yeah, I've been doing the Unit of the Week stuff, and I'm just going back and doing some wargame funny videos, and I got just some other videos yeah, I'm planning to do.
Always kind of good.
Yeah, just change it up a bit.
Indeed, indeed. So actually, we've seen the breakouts here. It looks like Canadians are very, very aggressive, approaching from that left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Germans not quite as aggressive. Is that a misplay, or is that just more of like taking advantage of this kind of forested cover that we see here along the middle side of the map?
I'm thinking they don't want to try and rush in too close, because if they get a little bit too close, Stormtroopers and other units will be a little bit of a pain in the butt. And also, well, he does have the point advantage, but yeah, it is a little bit passive now I really think about it. I think maybe he's going to wait for fire support to be brought up to really be able to do anything.
Now, you were saying that the Stormtroopers are really going to kind of like wreck face a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what makes the Stormtroopers so different, really, from the kind of standard Canadian infantry?
They are big, they're scary, and they swear a lot, just like regular Canadians. They got a lot of submachine guns and satchel charges too, so once they get within 100-meter range, Feldschägers are pretty much buggered.
Now, we did just see down there to the south that the initial Canadian dive, which is really the only thing I can call it, lost them already, a Humber Mark III, and it seems that their infantry is getting slaughtered down to the south.
Could not get those Stormtroopers in a good position, and now those Feldschägers have the open ground. Yeah, they're pretty much buggered. Didn't even use smoke, which is a bit of a shame, because that definitely would have helped out.
Definitely. side, though, it seems things are a little bit reversed. The Germans taking some real big hits already.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have an LG-40 to fall back on. Always
Yeah.
such a strange little gun. I really wish I knew what that thing was.
Yeah, yeah, it's German, that's for sure.
That's about the best we're going to hope for right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
51-49 in favor of the Canadians. They're going to slowly tick up a little bit here. And we have, honestly, for me, it feels like a really strangely calm opening for both players.
Mm-hmm. No crazy pushes. Russia of Love making a bit of a penetration down south, but he's not going full out. He's just doing a little bit of scouting before he decides to move up his Feldjägers.
Sounds like a decent idea as well. Now, judging by the way that the Canadians did open on up, they only have really the stag hounds there to really do any kind of fire support.
Yeah.
And what's more, those things are just AA platforms, not even very good ones at that.
They're not
Look,
that
one of them
good.
just got taken out by a burst of fire from the L6 right in the center part of that map. Jeez.
Yeah, that's not good for the Canadians. They lost their Humbler, they lost their Staghound. They're really going to need to take advantage of the armor. Ram 2, even though it's terrible in terms of infantry support, it can really kill these Panzer L6s easily, and it's like a brick wall, like a Sherman or an Avra, especially against a third Feldjäger.
Now, you were telling me, you actually were getting into it before, just before I kind of cut you off. There's a burst of fire going up on the northern side, by the way. But the AA half-track, well, excuse me, the AA stag hound, you're going to give it a little bit more love to it?
Yeah, it's not too bad, especially with the new AA buff. I believe it's a bit cheaper now. Yeah, it's 50 points. And, well, it's 50 cows, Khan. Can you go wrong with 50 cows?
True, true. And with the M1919 on top of that, it's not too much of a bad idea either, it seems. Now, we are going to see the Germans are starting to bring some troops up to the northern side, trying to support their not sagging flank, but it's still not wonderful. Sharpshooting as well. Might be matching up well against those sniper scouts, but I think they will first start to put fire into these rifles.
Snipers on snipers, here we go.
And I am actually super excited. Whenever I see sharpshooters, I'm sorry. It's so much fun for me just to watch. I mean, they get that 2-shot off. Man, first of all, they take off 2 models, and then on top of it, they get that quick pin down.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it makes them OP by consideration or not. I don't know. But
they're still very vulnerable once you get within close range.
That's more than fair. Now, as we were saying, though, that the Germans do have a little bit of support up in the northern side. Their center seems to be completely blown through.
Yeah, it's just a few rifles and a flamethrower squad. There's really nothing there to stop him. And he's very much concerned about his bottom center part. Having a bit of a firefight between these snipers and rifles.
I think we're going to get a stovepipe coming into the middle. And it looks like the Canadians are bringing in some Piats. And actually anti-tank as well, trying to engage those L6.
Damn. It's just a L6, which is rather funny. Very, calling it a tank would really be an overstatement.
Generous.
Yeah, generous, yeah. That thing was made in 1940, Colin. Bloody 1940. And they didn't even have a proper cannon on it.
Well, to be fair, at the same time, remember, this isn't a tank, so let's be kind to it already. But no, so sharpshoots in the meantime are actually going to push back, it looks like, against those scout snipers over there in the 3rd Canadian. And while I have not been really commenting on this, 56-44, the Allies are pushing forward heavily. The 3rd being called on, and so only one left really in support there.
Yeah, it's looking pretty decent for northern side actually from Russia, but it's really going to open up quite a bit once you get into B phase, because he can start getting those pioneers and stern pioneers, which helps him win those forest fights much more effectively, essentially.
Remember, as a commander, only you can prevent forest fights.
That's right, bring stern pioneers so there is no forest.
Exactly. I've never been much for the greenery anyway. That's something that's really your style, isn't it?
Yeah, just burn, baby, burn.
Exactly. Like I said, in the middle section, though, we are going to see the Canadians have fallen back across that river yet again. That rough 50 really kind of marking it with, to use the pun, the high tide of Canadian kind of push. And that second stag hunt just got blown up to the northern side. Sharpshoots, in the meantime, just continue their domination of these poor infantry in the area. My question is, there's a Piat squad right there. You get that shot off? No, the
He
L6
misses.
stopped.
It
Oh my
missed.
god.
Ah, I mean, you can't. You can never rely on PH.
Very, very true. And AT guns not being in place just yet either. Actually, up to the north again, there was another one being brought in. Okay, that 6-pounder doesn't see anything. In fact, he's in a god awful spot.
Yeah, he was getting shot at by sharpshooters earlier, so he decided to pull back, I believe. But yeah, it's this real good cover and fight here. The Panther and sharpshooters, just absolute bloody good work.
And there's that Ram 2 you were hoping for. So the Canadians will
Very
be
good.
bringing in their major battle tank for Phase A.
Mm-hmm.
And with a couple minutes left to go in Phase B, is there anything really the Germans can do to counteract this, or no?
I mean, they can get a Popperchin, and up north, that would be pretty good if you can get Faustjägers close enough to do have the Panzerfaust. Or if he's really ballsy, I think you can penetrate it if you flank it with the Panzer L6. Yeah,
Now, we're also going to see in the meantime, Fallschirmjägers are in the middle part of the map, and they are going to kind of try to take back this manor here. And I think the Canadians are ill-placed to really fight them off.
Yeah, if those flamethrowers were a bit closer, I'd really give it to the Canadians. But now the Faustjägers from a building, it's going to be a slaughter.
But even as you said before, so the Germans did have an opportunity for penetration. I don't think that penetration is going to happen though any longer. We have 3 squads of infantry, that Ram 2.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot to be found on the German side of things. It's too damn light.
Yeah, it's the problem with third Faustjäger is you can only get Faustjägers in A phase, which are 45 points. That's quite an investment, so it's hard to really fill out all the map with Faustjägers. Even though, yeah, I'd say Russet has done a pretty good job of keeping him alive and keeping him pushing, but he has no other fire support, such as really mortars or a lot of other things to really help him out, or planes, because he's going to have to rely on planes once you get to B and C.
Very true. Now, we did say the 6-pounder gets picked off to the north as Pia and this Fallschirmjäger clearly just staring at each other through the trees, but now the guy really wants to get engaged. He's going to engage these trucks. Oh, but no, they're going to get out just in time. Those are stormtroopers there as well, so I feel like this Fallschirmjäger is going to get pushed back rather quickly here.
Yeah, if he can get the stormtroopers in a nice position right in the middle of that T, he can get some damn good kills. Especially clearing out the Faustjägers once you get them close enough, because yeah, submachine guns hurt, man. They hurt.
That's true, and those Stens are pretty darn good. Now, I'm a little confused. I don't know the history behind this, but I'm kind of wondering why stormtroopers do have MP40s in their squads.
They probably looted them from dead
Oh
Germans.
yeah, I mean that's what I'd be thinking. But I think M3 grease guns or Thompson, something like that. But maybe it's just
I know, it's like how the bloody German ones have PPSHs. It's kind of so like they're veterans. They looted it off the enemy that they killed.
True.
Yeah,
That's definitely fair. Now, amusingly enough to me, the sharpshooters actually have no more ammo for their G43s up to the northern side. Which just kind of tells you the amount of domination they have up there.
Yeah, and there goes the Panzer L6 up top. That's not good, and this is looking good for the Canadians now as they are starting to push them back out. Ram is going to be a good deciding force.
What's more, those stormtroopers are a heck of a lot more experienced than I would have given them credit for. Good gosh, 3 stars of veterancy on them already.
Yeah, once you get a command thing, they're really bloody scary. And ruthless satchel charges, it's pretty much they throw the satchel, boom, and then they finish them off with the submachine gun. It's a lovely 1-2 punch.
Very true, but we are going to see the Germans do have themselves a 5149. They can start ticking back in favor for themselves. And I didn't notice this, but there's a 25-pounder down to the southwest of the map.
Oh, yeah.
Shelling those poor Fallschirmjägers have to try to cross that canal. Now, just to the north of that, we'll see 2 Fallschirmjägers wiping out a rifle squad pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And to the north of that, we're actually going to see more, Fallschirmflammenwerfers!
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So the stormtroopers going down super quickly. Rifles, half strength in the first place, not going to do particularly well either.
Yeah, that was a pretty clutch move there, the Flammenwerfer. And if you can keep him in that location, anything that comes across that little forest line, they're just going to get burnt. Yeah, just burnt.
There's that burn baby burn that we were worrying about. Now, one thing I don't like very much is that if you look in the forest south, you will see the Fallschirmführer, as well as a couple of Fallschirmjäger squads. really, in my mind, should be pushing along and taking this orchard at the absolute minimum.
Yeah, or just having a recon guy in front to scout ahead. I mean, for us, we can see it as nothing here. You may be thinking there's a Vicky's gun or something else nearby, but if we can get into our orchard, yeah, it's a lovely cover. Because it's a huge orchard too, so you do have good line of sight blockers compared to other runs.
Yep, definitely true. And honestly, if you can get all the way over to this forest, there's beautiful ambush spots.
Yeah, just great ambush spots. Even with an AT gun, you can start shooting stuff that comes up through the middle.
Now, worth noting in the meantime, that Ram 2, which up north killed that first L6, is just trundling down this parallel, the front. He's going down right to the center part of this map here.
I do like seeing when people completely reposition their tanks.
Yes.
You just never see it, and it's a smart move. This is a smart move because there's Panzers down south, there's none up top. You might as well reposition, and that Ram is going to be very important for taking this town. Because once again, it's a deciding factor. It's the armor on the field.
True. I mean, the LG-40s are right there, but at the same time, they had to be, like, killing close, like a knife blade close to even penetrate the armor here.
Yeah, you got the Papachin, but he's nowhere nearby. And he could actually move up at Papachin and probably... Well, no, actually, because you do have that river Khan, and you can't move an AT gun over a river, so they have to go across the bridge, which is a death trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
even putting somebody on that bridge. Even putting it on that bridge, I think would be a better position than having it so far back.
Yeah, you're definitely right about It's just okay. I was moving up the Panzer L6. That might not be the best move. Oh,
What depends what he's engaging though too. It's not that Ram 2 sees him just yet. No, he's engaging the sharpshoots and excuse me, the scout snipers. I'm wrong language
team,
here for
buddy.
a second.
And those rifles and stormtroopers are going to be getting close. It's a pretty nice combined arms assault. We got the artillery pounding away, the vehicles giving fire support, and the rifles moving in as they get in. It's a proper way you attack a town. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing over the top, but he's using a little bit of everything, which is nice.
Now, I'm going to move my attention away from there for a second. Down to the south, I did see 3 more infantry squads getting poured out into the meat grinder.
Oh, jeez.
But again, those are rifles and they're up against LMGs.
Yep, and we all know how the Bren gun goes.
Especially at that range too.
Yeah, and this is Ref Alchega's shine. They're pretty much a machine gun at this distance. They just completely wrecking everything.
And yes, they're all pinned down.
Yep, all pinned down. I mean, if he wants to take us back, he's gonna need fire support units to really pin down the Falchegers. Once you get into the forest, Joe, get stormtroopers, flamethrowers, GG.
By the way, so the Germans completely wiped out anything standing against them on the northern side, as well as bring down a Stug 3.
Oh yeah, there we go, yeah. Proper
and
tank.
This thing has a god-awful line of sight, though. Like, if he was anywhere close to that bridge, he's just asking to get wrecked.
Exactly, and the Ram does have quite a bit of armor. It's not, unpenetrable compared to the Stug, but I'd give the Ram better chances over the Stug, to be honest.
But always worth it.
Yeah, and I thought we saw smoke here, but no, it's just an artillery explosion. But Stug is... Yes, it's going to be covering that road, so if the Ram does decide to play ball, his Stug will be getting first shot.
You were saying, actually, that the Ram wasn't particularly good with the infantry suppression or infantry support. I mean, it's just a machine gun, perhaps.
Gun. It's just one machine gun. There's no HE ammo on the cannon, which really hinders it. It's like a budget Firefly, but better.
Budget Firefly, but better. All right, I never thought of it that way.
You don't have to spend 200 points on pretty much a crutch in certain matches.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, we did miss an ME-109 making gun runs to the south.
Mm-hmm.
We're also seeing a Sherman 3 coming on in as well.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's going to be a wonderful down south, how clean out his Falchegers. And once he clears past the Falchegers, got some pretty decent open ground to work with.
Actually, I'm kind of amused that the AA Staghound actually is doing what its supported role is theoretically supposed to be. Try Polston being called into the northern side, which means that there's going to be a curtain of flak so thick you can walk on it.
Oh, yeah.
And the L6 went down, I believe? Yes, it did. Ram 2 just took one shot, I think, it just blew to pieces.
Yep. Oh, it's a Stug and Ram 2 engaging, and yeah.
And that's pretty much the story of the tape right there. It's always how it goes.
Now, is Ura going to try... Oh! getting shot there by the LG-40, but doesn't have to worry about it. Now I'm thinking, is Ura gonna try and attack across this river again? Because honestly, for him, I just defend it because it's a lovely defensive location, and really attacking past it seems like a pain in the butt of all these fields that you have to fight over where the Feldjägers do have good open ground engagement, and it's just a big narrow choke point too, really, for the vehicles.
Well, right now, he had a beautiful defensive posture down to the south, but he didn't retreat at all and just lost 3 squads of guys to a single model of the stormtroopers.
Yep.
Which now he had a +2. Had he just been a little bit less aggressive there, he could have pulled back, cut this guy off, and gotten back to that +2. But no, he's pretty well shafted, I would say.
Yeah, we saw that one Feldjäger squad. Maybe he can get a shot on a Sherman. I doubt it.
Actually,
Maybe.
I think it's exactly what's going to happen.
I mean, this needs a move. Oh, the Sherman's reversion. Oh no, this ain't gonna be good.
Aligning, and the stars are coming.
Oh. Nope.
I thought he had it. I thought he had it.
Now the rifle spotted him, so now he knows what's going on. But it's gonna be now clearing out the Feldjäger squad because the Sherman doesn't really have any good location to shoot it safely. Well, not many, that is.
True. Very true. Now, another Sherman being brought up to the northern side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even try to speak some of these names, but not a particularly positive moment for the Germans, I would say, even though they are still up quite significantly in territory control.
Yeah, I mean, really, that top middle section is doing them wonders with just those 2 Feldjäger squads, yeah, but I feel like I need to take a bit more advantage of this, because, yeah, it's top middle, it could really probably do. Well, no, actually, there's no bridge. So really, he's going to have to focus on his far northern side, and that's going to be hard now with Sherman free on field.
Okay, actually, I want to tell you something real quick. So look at the northern posture right now. There's an LW Jaeger.
Yeah. Oh, they do have.
And then the Faust Patron that we talked about that last time. So aligning.
Whoa.
And there we go.
Oh wow, wow! Isn't the Faust Patrona worse than the Panzerfaust? Is
The
it like
Faust Patron, if memory serves, was like a 30mm warhead. You had to be like practically standing next to the tank to do anything with it.
okay? Yeah, it's understandable.
It was like I think it was basically the granddaddy of all of them. And he's gonna take out that 4.2-inch mortar as well. So that's 107mm of destruction being taken out by essentially, literally, garbage Fallschirmjägers. I mean, I won't swear on the cast, but it's pretty awful. They are pretty awful. I will not lie.
Yeah, I mean, you can get worse.
True, they could be.
They could be like Ursat's Trooper or us.
And that's the name I was trying to think about. I was like, I can't think of their names. This is awful. But shockingly enough, it looks like the Germans do have a numbers advantage on the field, which never seems to happen for the Fallschirmjägers.
Yeah, I mean, now it's opening up the doors a little bit because they can get the cheaper infantry units, which is nice, but I know, I feel like I want to get a bit more artillery. I do have this one mortar down south, or artillery or airplanes, because the infantry can't do too much, because once you get into the open field with Shermans, it's not going to be, yeah, great, and this 25-pounders as well, pounded array, being a pain in the butt.
Very, very true. Sturmpioneers moving on forward with their Flammenwerfer 41 to the south, and it seems like the Germans, the Rams are redeploying, and the Sherman might consider going across as well.
Yeah.
Some good shuffling back and forth, from Urad Comrades. I would say, I guess from Russia with Love being a little more static with his troop placements, I'm interested to see whether or not Urad does seem to pay off a little bit more with it.
Yeah, same.
Now, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the Messerschmitt coming in. Again, a stun at killing the rifles, yeah, but it's not going to be understay too long. It has quite a bit of AA on the field.
True, and there's that Spitfire trying to come in from behind him as well. Not going to catch him anywhere close, of course. And this Flak 36 throwing up a little bit of interdictory fire.
Thank God he has at least one AA unit, because I know I see a lot of the time with Feldjäger style German airborne decks that they don't get a single AA unit, and you need it, man. You saw that simple defense. You saw that one Flak 36 pretty much kept the Spitfire at bay. Well, almost. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, now 129. before, and he's making gun runs at this ram, but that's
Nope.
not going to penetrate.
Oh, maybe? No, he's not.
37mm cannon, the thing's got 12 armor in the first place. He's got to be practically on top of it.
Yeah, he almost had a side shot for a second, but yeah, yeah, you're not gonna pen that. Yeah, you're right.
Now, we're seeing the last L6 being brought on into the southern flank. I would like to see him really be pushing through to really pick up these last rifle squads and maybe, just maybe, pick up the Tripolston and the mortar.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see that really happening,
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
It seems like Ras is really kind of in a rut. He has good ground, but he can't really take advantage of it anymore. I mean, he can hide in the forest and use his infantry effectively, but once he gets more into this open ground, it's not really working all too well. There's quite good five support positions set up by Canadians, and really,
it does feel kind of Robin Hood Sheriff from Nottingham, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, it's the perfect map for it, really, of all these forests. And I'm thinking for Ura, if he was to kind of clear up his two Feldjäger squads in this northern middle section, that will really turn the tides for him, because that's a big chunk of the map.
Now, we did just see a Typhoon make a gun run to the south. We see a couple of ME-109s for some reason now being called on in.
A little bit late to the punch.
Yeah, and again, like you were saying before, with all the AA down there, geez, one of them already getting forced back. This other one's going to get forced back between the Sherman and the Tripolston.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a little bit uncoordinated right there. Could have been a great opportunity to pick up at least one of them.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to need to get bomber planes or artillery to try and knock out his AA pieces, because they're really hindering from using his air power effectively.
Yeah, but we were looking at the decks beforehand, and really the decks don't lend themselves to a lot of bombers from him. He's got a couple of Focke Wolves, and he's got the Henkels later on. But doesn't seem to be the greatest armor deck, really. I'm not sure how to call it.
Airborne?
And I meant but literally the air power itself was a little bit
close air support.
Lackluster. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm just taking a look of it too, and there's like 1, 2, 4, 9 planes for.
Sherman 3, by the way, going to pick off his next victim.
Yeah.
There goes the 4th L6.
And there they all go.
We still have one just to the north of it. It looks like. Yeah, so we still have one on the map, and I don't know how long that guy's going to stay. That brave man.
Mm.
And I think Ura's finally heard you. He's bringing in some infantry to clean up that pocket, and he's got a Wolverine now coming through the middle part of the map.
Oh, jeez, that's
confusing.
Quite a bit of armor.
I mean, it is, of course, Phase C at this point, and he's down about 500 tickets, but it doesn't seem to be the best thing, perhaps? I don't know. It seems strange to me.
I mean, you could probably get another Sherman, which would also be better, because it does have better fire support capabilities, and oh, there goes the Ram.
I was just going to make that comment. He got himself skinned alive by that little puppy there.
Yeah, good defensive location with the puppy, like, finally got something.
Indeed. Didn't think it was going to take that long for it to really do something, though.
Yeah,
now, what did this see? This this Fallschirmsturm Pioneer. I'd love to see if we can get shake and bake against the Sherman 3, but I don't think it's going to happen. Nope. Indeed.
Is this Sherman going for the home run?
I think he's just going to try to force a surrenders. I don't know how well this is really going to work.
I don't know. There we go.
Oh, that guy was outside of the whole circle, I think. Yeah, the circle of safety, the circle of trust.
How are these Fallschirmjäger Pioneers aren't surrendered? They're right next to the Sherman.
Again, because that Fallschirmführer just to the southeast of him.
Oh, yeah, you're right. God, they're gonna die. That's not good.
Very true. They do go down here, and everything else starts to fall back. And there goes the Fallschirmführer. There's one Sturm Pioneer.
If there's just one Feldjäger squad or lower Feldjäger squad, that would not have happened. But damn, that's really not good. Losing your entire force there to a gun-ho Sherman.
I would love to see the Fallschirmführer in the middle part of the map, just to the north as Wolverine, declaw that vehicle. Just sidle on to the south, dude. Wolverine has barely any kind of anti-infantry.
It has an open top too, so easy peasy, dead.
Stovepipe goes down for the Germans.
Yeah.
While that 25-pounder just continues just to the shell from long distance. Such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it doesn't have the highest HE power, but it's pretty much from the machine gun of artillery.
And has got that 40 rounds as well. So it seems like even before that Bedford got brought in, it just seems like he never stopped firing.
Yep, that's British artillery for you, mate.
Canadian, please. Let's give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. I mean, the Sextant was actually built in Canada, and the Sherman just got blown up.
I was going to say
Yeah,
that
it
Pack
wasn't built
38, a
in Canada,
beautiful
yeah.
shot down the road.
Yeah, it was good location, and you know, Pack 38 getting a Sherman kill is usually pretty good.
True. Very true. Now, we are going to see, basically, though, the Germans have lost the southern tip here, and indeed, it's 57. It was 58 for a couple seconds there, but the Canadians still have half the amount of tickets that they need to bring this right back into an actual game.
Like, well, if they can keep it at the plus run, as you can see, they will be able to take the victory, but, you know, I'd play it safe, try to go for the plus 2. They do have a nice kind of surroundation on this northern flank.
And that's going to get picked off in just a second, though, too. I mean, here comes some more infantry.
But I feel like he's, you know, start artillery in here, bring up that Staghound a bit closer, a bit of fire support, a bit more infantry. He could clean this up easy peasy, because it's just a lot of, yeah, like lower Jaegers and a few Feldjägers.
Well, and that's the thing I was thinking about, too. The Tripolston that was up here a couple seconds ago has now just kind of skewed off to the south a bit.
Yep.
If I were he, I would use it as, like you said, a fire suppression point. Just, like, really be laying down a curtain of fire that even the Germans can't even handle at that point.
I mean, yeah, it's got three bloody 20mm. That is scary to go against already. So yeah, just bring it up closer, do some runders. I think more rifles too, because yeah, it's gonna run out of infantry once its rifle squad gets blown up.
Stug, in the meantime, takes up the Wolverine in the center part of the map, but the Puppetron did find itself getting suppressed. And yeah, now the Stug, I think, is just gonna run riot for a little bit, at least until some more heavy tanks get forward. It takes out Tripolston. This is when you bellow, send in the air, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not much air power here. Fall from Russia.
True. Those men coming from the Eastern Front aren't particularly fond of these kinds of engagements, it seems.
Nah, not one bit.
It's actually kind of amusing to me as well to see the Stag on fire and immediately get completely reloaded. A flashing thing there, but no, Henkel comes in, takes him on out. Not sure I would have wasted it on that. I think I would have gone for that Tripolston yet again, but I guess a kill's a kill.
Exactly. And really good out, yeah, the Messerschmitt's coming in. That Spitfire knows exactly what to do. And that's to run away.
Employ the French defense. My people are German, man. ME-109 going after the Spitfire here, and I think the Spitfire's overstayed his welcome. He should have fled a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. It's a nib where I got one Tripotion, and you want to try and fight over the Tripotion. There we go.
And he gets exactly what he wants. There you go.
And there's the bait and kill, easy peasy.
Well, I feel like the first guy, he got pushed back by the flak, and then this other one was like, hey, you know what? Let's just continue to sidle on in. Just didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, if you're gonna do dogfights like that, especially against Spitfire vs 109, because they are very similar planes, you want to be fighting over your AA.
Seems fair. Now, there is an SPW AB-41 up to the northern side. Again, that armored car taking out one of the Kangaroos coming on in. So, Aussie equipment off to the Canadians and getting blown apart by the Germans. Quite the runaround. By itself, those guys are not going to be able to push back. Surprisingly beefy push from the Canadians.
Holy crap, that is the first Kangaroo we've seen all match. That's,
there was a second one, but the AB-41 took it on out with one shot. So
okay.
if you zoom in a little bit, you'll see it burning up right there. That was his comrade.
Oh yeah. I mean, Kangaroo are really like the staple Canadian unit. They're so bloody good for fire support. They're expensive as hell, but it's 4 armor, it's got 50 cal, what's not to love? The veterancy.
Basically a Bradley, more or less. I mean, the early Bradley, mind you, but a Bradley.
Yeah, I mean, it was technically the first APC, if we're talking technicalities.
Wouldn't the M3 half-track been that? I guess not.
Well, this is like a proper tank. It's not like a half-track.
So we did miss a couple of things, by the way, in the meantime. There was a 17-pounder brought on in, which killed the Stug. There was a Typhoon that came back in and bombed the ever-living bejesus out of the German material down to the south, but then that got taken up with the ME-109. So, missing a couple of kills here and there, but I get the feeling that the rest of this game's going to kind of settle on out the final minutes here. As you can see right now, we have a couple minutes left in this replay, 8 minutes left in the match, theoretically. I'm not sure we're going to hit that, though. And indeed, we see a Bedford supply truck has been captured by the Germans, and the Kubelwagen munitions heap has gotten picked up by Canadians and blown to pieces. So,
Bit of a Schrader-Rooney here, but I give the Germans the advantage getting a Bedford compared to the Kubel.
true. I mean, the Kubel only is what, 5,000 munitions per?
Yeah, and I believe Bedford's 10,000. So yeah, double your price. I mean, I'll give you 2 Bedfords or 2 Kubels for 2 Bedfords.
True.
That's a good trade.
True. We're also going to see that howitzer in the backside there that I can't even pretend I know what the actual full name is. But the Geb H40 laying down some fire suppression here, going after that the 17-pounder. I would have liked to have seen him be a little bit more aggressive and try to position to hit the 25-pounder, but I can kind of understand his reticence to really push forward.
Yeah, he doesn't have the 25-pounder does outrange him by 400 meters, so yeah, I do understand that. But like you said, that 25-pounder has been a real thorn in the side, so knocking it out would be a good idea.
Indeed, indeed. So we're going to see this, what's this, another Sherman coming on in? Sherman 3? Yes, another Sherman 3 coming on in, and Sherman Pioneer's going to be caught out in the open by it. Poor guys. That is an awful lot of firepower to deal with, and I don't think they can do that. Wow, somehow they make it across the road. I don't know how that happened, but they managed to do it. In the meantime, a bit of a furball up to the northern side. MB-109 making a couple of runs out of Spitfires here. And everyone's going to get sent packing by all the lovely ground fire. So, not too much to write home about, I suppose.
Yeah, just pretty standard air engagement. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised how well Russia's managed to hold on to his northern flank, considering we got Wolverine now being brought up. This problem is the Canadians can't get across that tree line. They've got real good.
Take a look at it from the German side of things, though, too. I mean, you're not going to get much vehicle usage. Look at the way that's that little dog leg in the road.
Exactly, yeah.
So, really, this is a map.
It's a good choke point.
I get the feeling that this map should have been way more Fallschirmjäger friendly.
Yeah.
Some of the other engagements we've seen.
I mean, the problem is this map does have that big bloody river going through it, so it's very hard to really do flanking maneuvers because you have to control the bridges, which are obvious choke points, and there's like about 1, 2, like 3 bridges on this entire map. I mean, that's some War Game Red Dragon map design, right? Yeah.
But at the same time, you also see a lot of fording points, though, too. So while the vehicles themselves might be getting butchered, it's super friendly to infantry, I would say.
Yeah, for infantry it's good, but you can't do an assault just with infantry. That's the problem.
True. True. I guess I was thinking about trying to use them as local counterattacks and kind of sweep in behind, kind of start as a staging point. Pinch out those major crossing points, more or less. But this is not going to happen. We're heading further and further towards even ticketage here. Indeed, 9:25 to 9:45, and won't lie, we're coming up on the end of our little replay as well. Black 41,
wow.
Oh man, got called in, got one shot off, and got immediately suppressed by this Sherman.
I was honestly amazed the Flak 88 didn't get the kill, because that's usually a pretty deadly gun, but Sherman gets the kill, and there goes from Russia with love. He's going back to Russia.
So in 35 minutes, 17 seconds, we will see a minor victory for Ura. In fact, he actually ends the game at less points than his opponent. But, you know, I mean, killing... Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much on the road to victory.
Yeah, exactly. Now we do see that the KD is more or less kind of even-ish. Though the history is super, super favorable to the Germans early on.
Damn. Yeah, the Fauchek and Fauchek Furious, I really think, we were really overstepped during the initial plays here, especially with his vehicles, to get them into some very silly locations.
True. In about 16 minutes, we did see a little bit more exchanging of... Oh, no, we see actually a lot more blue on that shooter side of things. And I would say from there, there's not really a lot of recovery from the Germans. You have a bit of happiness every now and again, but it tends to be rather blue.
Yeah, it's a lot of those tanks, those Shermans and Wolverines got quite a few kills at mats, and they're really just a deciding arm. I mean, the Sherman pretty decent on that map because you don't have to worry about long ranges. You got the fire support. It's a good choice and it's cheap. So if it gets blown up, you can just kind of buy another or two.
True. And the same thing from the German side of things. The Fallschirmjägers and the Fallschirmführers doing very well by themselves. L6 doing a little bit of work, and yeah, no other real standouts more or less when you think about it.
Nah, it's no real crazy aces today. Just very, pretty standard stuff. I mean, a few kills here and there. I mean, the Feldjägers did get a lot of kills, but also, like, it's 2 to 3 rifles for every Feldjäger, so that's understandable.
True. But yes, I think that's about pretty much all I have to say about it. How about you there, Ryan?
Yep, that's all I have to say too.
Sounds good. Well, in that case then, folks, thank you so much for tuning on in. Hopefully we'll get some more great SD44 replays for you out there. We've been a little bit high and dry recently.
Yep.
But hopefully we'll get some more great material out for you in the next couple of days here. So this has been Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rang Ru. Take it easy.
Have a great day, everybody.